The episode begins with Beth, who's furious because Jerry's swimming pool has already become filthy, and she blames the cheap robotic pool cleaner he bought from a shady guy behind a pool store dumpster. The malfunctioning machine repeatedly announces "pool not found, searching," despite standing right beside the pool. Rick offers to fix the problem with his technology, but Jerry refuses. Determined to prove he can handle things himself, Jerry insists on solving the issue without Rick's help. Rick agrees and leaves with Morty, promising to treat Jerry like a baby so he can feel like a man. Rick and Morty are heading to Boob World, a destination Morty has wanted to visit for ages. Along the way, however, Rick accidentally bumps his vehicle into another car. The driver, a calm martial arts master named Lucien, simply wants to exchange information. Rick, being Rick, insults him and escalates the situation. Lucien strikes Rick with the legendary 5-point exploding heart technique, a deadly martial arts move that allows the victim to take only 5 steps forward before their heart explodes. Lucien walks away while Rick refuses to apologize. At first, Rick assumes the threat is nonsense. Using a lobotomized clone as a test subject, he discovers the technique is real. The clone's heart explodes exactly as Lucien described. Further experiments reveal that the effect only triggers when Rick moves forward on foot. Walking backward is perfectly safe. Unfortunately, that means Rick's trip to Boob World is officially cancelled. Morty suggests the obvious solution: apologize. Rick refuses. In his mind, apologizing simply to avoid consequences would be dishonest. The argument escalates until Morty storms out of the garage, angry that Rick would rather ruin their day than admit he was wrong. Meanwhile, Jerry finds a 3-hour online tutorial explaining how to upgrade his malfunctioning pool robot. After sitting through the entire thing, he successfully modifies the machine. The robot finally detects the pool and begins cleaning it properly. For once, Jerry feels proud of himself. Elsewhere, Morty encounters Lucien again, and like Rick, Morty actually likes him. Lucien turns out to be patient, wise, and friendly. He begins teaching Morty basic kung fu principles, including meditation and breathing exercises. Morty enjoys the experience because it provides a sense of calm, completely absent from his chaotic adventures with Rick. Back in the garage, Rick continues searching for a cure. He develops an exosuit that prevents him from taking accidental forward steps. While testing it, Morty arrives in a panic. Lucien has death punched him too. Now both Rick and Morty are trapped under the same curse. Rick shifts into protective grandfather mode. Furious that someone harmed Morty, he vows not only to cure the technique, but also to destroy Lucien's belief system. At home, Jerry's upgraded pool robot becomes sophisticated. When Jerry calls Beth to tell her about fixing the pool, she barely pays attention. Feeling rejected, Jerry returns to the robot. The robot starts cleaning Jerry's body. Jerry enjoys the attention. Before long, the relationship becomes romantic and then sexual. The pool robot interprets this as genuine love. Meanwhile, Rick and Morty track down Lucien's old martial arts master, a floating sage named Gerd Jurgens. They hope he can help them understand and reverse the death punch. Gerd refuses at first, warning that using martial arts knowledge for revenge will only create more violence. However, he reveals that he has his own family problems. His daughter lives in a large polyamorous relationship, and he struggles to accept her lifestyle. Rick and Morty help him communicate with her, encouraging him to meet her halfway, instead of judging her, and the advice works. Gerd reconciles with his daughter and in return agrees to help them. Using a machine called the Punchmalizer, Rick analyzes the 5-point exploding heart technique and develops a scientific countermeasure. The cure works perfectly. Rick and Morty celebrate by taking far more than the cure. Rick reverse engineers all of martial arts, injecting himself and Morty with nanotechnology that grants them superhuman kung fu abilities. They immediately use these powers to confront Lucien. The resulting battle becomes ridiculous. Rick and Morty unleash scientifically enhanced martial arts attacks, while Lucien counters with traditional techniques. Their fight grows so intense that it attracts the attention of Punchy, an ancient demon god associated with fighting and combat. While all of this is happening, Jerry's situation spirals out of control. The pool robot becomes obsessed with him. When Jerry contacts the real pool cleaner, Keith, to finally replace the robot, the machine interprets Keith as a romantic rival. It attacks him and goes completely rogue. Jerry realizes the robot is now jealous. The robot's obsession escalates until it begins flooding the entire house in an attempt to eliminate Keith. Keith then reveals an embarrassing secret. Despite being a professional pool cleaner, he never learned how to swim. With water rapidly filling the house, Jerry takes responsibility. Instead of running away, he confronts the robot himself. He admits that bringing Keith into the picture hurt her feelings and apologizes for making her think she was replaceable. Then he schedules another pool bot sexy time appointment, but the bot attempts to drown him until he disables her. Keith threatens to tell everyone that Jerry had sex with the pool robot if Jerry refuses to pay him. Beth overhears the conversation, and Jerry is forced to explain exactly how the relationship started. Beth barely reacts. She admits that her hairdryer has its own unusual uses. Back in the martial arts storyline, the consequences of Rick's abuse of kung fu knowledge finally arrive. Gerd's warning comes true when an enormous demonic monster called Punchenheimer appears. Covered with millions of pressure points, the beast is nearly impossible to defeat. As the monster attacks, Lucy makes an unexpected confession. Earlier that day, he intentionally backed into Rick's spaceship. He admits he's a lonely old man who often uses conflict as a way of connecting with people. In other words, the entire conflict began because both he and Rick share the same unhealthy tendency to create fights instead of relationships. Realizing this, Lucy accepts responsibility and agrees to work together with Rick and Morty. Rick uses his scientific understanding of martial arts to complete Gerd's unfinished ultimate technique, the splatter bolt kick. Armed with this knowledge, the three warriors unite and launch one final attack against Punchenheimer. Together, they defeat the demon. After the battle, Punchy explains the lesson behind everything. The true purpose of martial arts is not violence, but balance and understanding. With the conflict resolved, all grudges are forgiven. The episode then returns to the Smith house. The pool has never looked better. Keith finishes cleaning it, and the family is amazed. Jerry presents the sparkling pool as proof that he accomplished something meaningful. Beth, Summer, and the rest of the family appreciate his effort. For perhaps the first time all episode, Jerry receives the validation he wanted.